computer technology has been moving in a way that nothing else people have ever known.
Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 176. I'm joined by my co-host, Morgan Harfell. Good evening, Morgan. Yeah, I'm not bad, thanks. I'm not bad. It's been quite a week in disc golf. A little bit, lots happened, but not necessarily just tournaments that we're following. Lots of kind of little bitty stuff has happened, I feel. Little bits and pieces. That's right. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about some of them today. We got a great show. We're going to start off with hot scores, and then we're going to talk to Ewan Craig and Matt Prichard, who join us from the NZDG board to talk about what they've been doing for the last couple of months since being elected. It's about 2 months now, since the election results. And so, yeah, we get to talk to them. And if you've got any questions, chat. Make sure you put it into the chat there, and we'll get the guys answering them. Then we're going to talk about a corridor that Kelvin Cummins is wanting to organise again as part of an NZDG initiative. More details on that a bit later. We're going to go through the results which occurred earlier on last week. Alison Tweedy and Sarah Wadsworth competing in the US. Indeed, some incredible results there. We're going to go through those in a lot of detail. And we're also going to have a look at the previewing the Tucker Beach Rush, which is taking place this weekend. Morgan, this is just down the road from you, eh?
It is, and I kind of feel like I should have my trophy behind me. Actually, it might be the last day that I get to see it for a little while.
Well, it's going to be, Levi's back. He's not played for a while, at least sanctioned disc golf. In a while, so we're really looking forward to seeing how he gets along in a very competitive MPO field, which we'll
Yeah,
get
yeah.
to in a bit, and some incredible starting cards which have been released.
Yeah, there are.
Just
We
now
look
as
at
well.
Levi's? How do we look at Levi's PDGA rating last night? I think 10-11 at the present.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a look at that. And yeah, so something I did want to say is I Topor Thermal Throwdown. Now you know how much I like this event, right? I've spoken about it on the show before. The registration opened on Monday night. Now there was priority rego for people on Friday for Topor Disc Club members and a few others. And then on 15 minutes before the open to everybody registration time, they opened it up to ladies to register. And then the registration went live. And they've got 96 spots. And I reckon about 40 odd were taken before the ladies had a chance to register. Then there was about 15 ladies who registered, 15 to 20 ladies who registered. So that was like just over 60. And then the last 30 registrations went in seconds. I mean, I was there watching it, refreshing, clicking it like this, and it was just going up by 8, 10 each time. Absolutely crazy.
That's the best feeling as a TD to be watching your event.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. I mean, the wait list, they capped the wait list at 20, and that sold out in almost as much time as the rest of the event. I mean, it was ridiculous, honestly. Look, let's be honest though, it's a fantastic event, arguably New Zealand's best course. I mean, objectively New Zealand's best course, right? So, it's and it's a pure AM event. Absolutely fantastic job, Rich and Ken and Steve and the rest of the crew up in Topor.
Matt, have you seen on Udis they've added the badges now for if your class, your course is being rated in the top, say maybe 10, they've got your badge.
Yes,
on the
I
course
did.
Now.
I did see this because I was browsing for reasons on the Topor Udis.
What's number one
page.
right now? Taupo?
In New Zealand, it is. Yeah.
And then I think it's followed by Queenstown Gardens in second, and I believe maybe Invercargill in third, Queen's Park.
Okay, so people of New Zealand, go to your UDisc apps, unless you're watching this on a phone, in which case do it after the show, and look up the Topor site, and what you'll see is they've got a little funky badge about being in the top 100 in the world and being in the top in New Zealand. So congrats to them. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Morgan, hot scores. Take us through the South.
Hot scores. Third in the country, Queen's Park. Queen's Park. Brad Spencer, 11 under par this week, kicks us off. That's a 46, 11 under par for Brad Spencer at Queen's Park. Moving on over into Chingford in Dunedin. Kelvin Cummings with a -8 gets it done this week. Brockville still down in that neck of the woods. Jens Moeller with a 3 under par. Coming up into Queenstown into the Gardens, and Masashimi with a 9 under par gets it done this week. Over to Lismore and Wanaka, we have Mundo McDisc with a -8 this week. The echo continues. It's flying all around my room. Jelly Park, and now, I love to say this name on the show, especially in this context. It's not Kelvin Cummings, although he does join Leon Botha this week on 11 under par to get it done at Jelly Park. Congratulations to those two gentlemen. Warren Park, and we see Sam Cole, 13 under par this week. Smallbone Reserve, Billy Roberts with 15 under par. Louis Stridham gets it done with 6 down at Queen's Park Reserve. 5 down is the number for Reese Wynn Jones, formerly of Queenstown, now of Nellie Nelson at Saxton Field. And rounding out the South at Brantford Park, we've got Mr. Stephen Dorey and Mr. Connor Dove, both on a 12 under par this week, rounding out the hot scores for the South.
So up in the north, and some big scores in the capital. Berhampore, Johnny Wake, 9 under par. That's a 10-hole course. Over the water at Hikoikoi, it's Ben Morrison and the CEO, Lotte Pepper, with a 5 under par. Up the valley at Harcourt Park, Andy Davey hits 11 under par. Let me just say that again, 11 under par. That is approaching course record standings. And if you've played Harcourt Park, you'll know 11 under par is hell of a difficult. Linklater, Johnny Wake and Joel Simpson go round at 10 under par. Maryland's, and it's Jed with a 3 down. Spa Park Black, Callum Petman's +1 is enough for this week. And at Henderson, Jamie Kennedy hits a 2 under par. Over at Woodhill, Ben Upton also shoots 2 down, and Sean Aitken goes 1 better at Rosedale with a 3 under par for the hot score of this week. Well done to everybody who who registered a hot score this week. Very well done.
Very well done.
Morgan, let's now bring in our guests.
Yes, nice and early in the piece. Let's not keep them waiting. Let's bring them in. You can introduce them.
Our guests this evening are NZDG Chairman Ewan Craig, and I think he wears many hats now. I think he's the treasurer and also the deputy chair. I think I'll let him confirm. Matt Prichard. Anyway, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Thanks for having us.
Evening, fellas. No hat tonight, though, other than the ones you're virtually wearing there, Matty P.
How are you? How are you both? And how has the first couple of months gone in the new tenure? I guess.
Well, I would say hectic. I think Matt would agree. He's seen the chats almost constant from me. It's been it's good. It's really good. There's a lot of insight I've gained in 2 months to the inner workings of things and a bit of the history, I guess, the last couple of years. That's been helpful with then sort of reassessing where I'm at with what we want to do moving forward and what's possible, what's not possible.
Yeah, that must be really helpful, having someone who's been there and seen it and done it previously, coming from the past board, just having that information and knowledge to actually bring over into a fresh board.
Yeah, for sure. And it's been really good having Matt, obviously knowing the processes and I guess a bit more of the formality stuff. I'm probably not that skilled up on that. I'm a bit more cut and let's do things. But it's been good just having someone help me through with, no, actually we should consider doing it this way in this method. So that's been really good having that skill set and grounding come through with us.
It's not been too easy, because you've had 2 people leave the board, even in the 2 months that the new board was established at the end of May.
Again, we are, and I think this has been pointed out a few times to me by Matt and a few of the others, we are volunteer based. Fortunately, with these sort of things, and what I've found in other places, the people that do stick themselves forward tend to be the busiest of people to start with. No exception, Matt's heap on his plate as well. So that sort of leads itself to the point where there are, life happens and your career and that you got to have a roof over your head. So this is sort of a sideline gig for a few of us. We were trying to find the time in that, but I do appreciate that they were honest with us that they didn't have the time and they're not stalling us around. It's a little bit unfortunate with then having to now have a SGM as well. It's sort of a bit of a distraction to things, but just pointing that out that we do have the capacity. Obviously, Jan's doing the secretary role in the interim. Matt himself is our interim treasurer. We do have the
I was just going to say, Ewan, could you just confirm who it is that we're missing now? You said Matty P's now the deputy chair, was it?
He's deputy chair is elected, and he's also treasurer in the interim. As Jonathan didn't take up his position, and then Martin McGraw has stepped down, so that's left us with Arne just doing 2 roles as well for the interim while we plan an SGM. As I was saying, we don't physically need to go to an SGM under the Constitution, but in the interest of democracy and wanting to make sure that we do have the most views present and the most people to share that workload over, we are seeking 2 extras where we can. So that's something I can't really ask enough for. If there's any way you think you might be able to fit in and help, or you want to get involved, there is an opportunity there for you to come work with us and actually shaping things.
So, what are your timings on the SGM then?
So we are scheduled for SGM, the actual physical meeting, on the 19th of August, which is half an hour before the next board meeting. So the successful people will be dumped straight into that. Just heads up. We are needing nominations, and obviously seconded nominations to chair at NZDG by the 31st of July. Obviously, we're going to just shorten things up and do it pretty brief. We want to get on with it, get moving. We don't want to drag this out longer than it has to, and that's where we're at with that. So I haven't as yet received any official nominations. We are keen to hear from people if you would be keen on either secretary or treasurer roles. Again, that doesn't mean you're just going to be dumped into the middle of it. There is support amongst us. We are working quite good as a team. You must like some very robust discussions, though. That's a prerequisite. And I really, really cannot emphasise that I do not want a whole bunch of yes men. What I want is people who can think and can defend their position, because that is how the best decision making is going to come out of our board, is when we can actually defend our point of view, and that actually we aren't just going along with one person. It is a collaborative.
Yeah.
Are you going to any clubs, reaching out to any clubs? I mean, even via, Calvin, yourself, Arne, and actually asking for these people rather than just waiting for them to come to you?
That is something we can look at doing. There's been a couple of people we have asked and reached out to, just that we thought might suit. Obviously, with Calvin, myself, Matt, and Arne being South Island based, it would be preferable for us if we could pick up another couple of North Islanders. Just for, again, that representation, the view that there is a difference between the two islands and how they operate. So, for representation, it is handy to have that those points of view and that input, so that we're not just tailoring everything to what we know.
Sure.
Yeah. So has there been any surprises? Anything that you've kind of unearthed or that you've seen since your tenure started? That's, I don't know, made you that's noteworthy. Let's say.
I'd be lying if I said there wasn't, but that's not a detailing kind of point. We're dealing through at the moment. We're looking and reassessing. Obviously, part of with any chair change, you want to take a bit of stock and find out, what is the direction, what direction we want to go, what doesn't fit now with that direction. What I've sort of taken out of this is that a lot of our procedures and policies in writing that support that decision making possibly aren't where they need to be. So for me, that's taking a step back and now making sure we have the written procedures and guidelines in place for both ourselves and the next boards on how money can be spent, how decisions that involve that money is spent. Just generally making sure everything is I's crossed, T's dotted.
Yeah. So currently, right now, as it stands, you and Matt, I guess you're still a couple months in and building that base layer of, we'll just say, a pyramid, where you're going to start climbing up the hill. But right now, we're still in that base phase right now. If you were to look sort of another 2 months down the track, maybe a little further, how much progress do you think you might be able to make, even with just the awesome group of guys that you and girls that you've got right now?
I'm ready to go now. There's currently three, maybe four things I can think of in front of the board for the next meeting that are either being voted on or approved as such in terms of policy. There's a proposal for juniors that we talked about pre-election. There's a form of that sitting in front of them now. I'm about to type over this weekend and hope to get down one for membership changes for the system that we use for next year. That's the one area I think I would like to leave as my legacy, is that system comes up to the modern, is actually capable of doing what we need it to do, because the current system where TDs, if you're lucky, send you a bunch of emails in a spreadsheet and you try to email that into something, then pretty much I spend 11 hours reconfirming exactly who is a member, who isn't a member. We've got it from 800 members with only 500 email addresses, down to the point where there's now 50 emails missing still that we just can't find. So we're waiting on inputs there. So we've gained 300 effective contacts since the AGM that should have been able to vote, then weren't.
Yep.
It's processes like that, and just making sure that we are updating our basics. We need to get the basics right now so that we can build on that.
Sure. Can I direct that same question, and feel free to stretch it out as wide as you need, Matty P. So I'm calling you Matty P, so other Matt doesn't just start answering with his own answers. It's my affectionate name for you and me, good mate. If you could sort of elaborate on that from your sort of point of view. Obviously, you've been around on the board and in disc golf probably quite a lot longer than Ewan as well. Like, what's your sort of insight on things right now?
As Ewan said, really good crew. Really surprised me actually how good the crew is, and we're really gelling well. Hugely disappointed that Jono and Martin left. That was a surprise, but it's good having Lucinda there. She's been on the board previously, and she's got that background, that insight, and she'll stick up for herself too. She doesn't let the blokes push her around. It's really good, but definitely keen to support Ewan's vision and challenge it equally, but. I think the sport looks to be going in the right direction quite quickly now. I kind of just hang out in the background and make sure software, policy, procedure, ticking boxes, as Ewan said. It's we've got some big goals, but we've got to, like you said, we've got to lay the foundation first, and that's kind of the immediate goal. Just really build some good systems, some good habits, and then software as well. That's going to be key, and then we can start rolling it out and benefiting the membership and adding value to clubs and I guess to TDs primarily. Does that kind of answer?
Nice one. No, it definitely does. Sorry, Matt, what have you got?
I was just going to ask, and this is going in a slightly different direction. In the AGM, one of the items which came up was the members' motion. And one of the items on the members' motion was about the sharing of NZDG account statements and board minutes of recent elections, recent meetings. Sorry, I forget the exact wording. Those haven't been shared despite being voted on by the electorate.
I'm going to stop you there, Matt. They have been.
Go on.
So if you go onto the NZDG website, you go up the top on the tab that says governance.
Fantastic.
And if you go
maybe I don't know if producer Tom can get this on the screen. This is even better.
Somewhere under governance there, you'll see there are minutes from our very first meeting of this board. There are meetings that went up Monday from the second meeting of this board. There's also now the current financial statement for June as well.
There was something in the members' meeting which talked about minutes of previous board meetings.
Yeah, so we have gone back through, obviously, when we went through a few of them, ourselves getting access to them. The style of the minutes were worded in and written. There's a lot of sort of thoughts in there that weren't kind of done in a way that was sort of conducive to publish. There's also, it was decided as a group that when we do look back through it, the opinions and that were freely shared, that they were shared possibly freely because they had no obligation to publish those minutes. So we have made a decision as a board now to not protect the last board, but basically to say, well, they weren't aware they were going to be published. We should keep that there, and we will publish ours moving forward because we can control what we are saying and what we are doing and be accountable for our actions there because we know they're going to be published. The other part of that was that we would, if there was a specific question relating to something in the past minutes, be prepared to one-on-one talk with someone about it. So if you had, sort of like what the government do with like an OIA, I guess, if you came to me with a particular question about a particular thing, then possibly you will get an answer that's from those minutes, if that makes sense.
Okay. It does. It does. Absolutely. Thank you. I've had a question come through from chat that was sent to me earlier on today, and it reads: for a small country, we've got some division at the top of the game. Would they, NZDG, consider playing a role in unifying the premium events within the TDU and the Elite Series, and for that matter, their own NZDG events that sit outside of those organisations' efforts, or is that outside of your scope?
So anyone that was at Sub-Zero a month ago now will see that was a double header. So that was on an Elite Series head and also NZDG, so you got points from both. Anyone playing Smallbone in 2 weeks from now, same deal again. So we are working to that point. I guess the long-term strategy that we're kicking about at the moment is that eventually all PDGA sanctioned events in New Zealand will be sort of come under some sort of tier, just as like if we put our events into PDGA now, they become part of the global tour. If that makes sense. So it'll be possible that you can sign up for NZDG tour points from any event in New Zealand is the goal, but then that there can also be a space like Morgan's done with Silver Series, pick out 5-6 events, and that's a tour as an overlay, which is what TDU was an overlay rather than a tour. If there becomes like an Elite Series or something like that, they could pick out 5 or 6 events from anywhere. Anyone can join them. That's, we're trying to provide it so that there's a basic kind of structured tour under NZDG, but then there's also the ability for things to be on their own series with their own series prizes. I guess it's not just sort of going to be one or other. We're not in a camp, and that's the one thing I do want to try push this year, and we are starting to do that with like the likes of Disc Golf South and Christchurch. We are trying to bring those people back into the fold so that the players aren't missing out on points. Those that just played Elite Series last year, they missed out on NZDG points. That would have hurt their chances at a title. Likewise, if you were banking on playing Smash and getting points, you didn't. So there is a mood with us for unification. We're not entirely sure yet how that's going to look, but what I need people to realise with that too is that there have to be some changes and compromises for that to work. Those groups did break away for a reason. That doesn't mean they're going to come back and dictate the terms completely on what things are, but that comes from them having outgrown the model that we're currently in.
Yeah, I'm just going to change my hat for a second and go over to NZ Elite Tour, the NZ Elite Series Tour Director, and I just want to say that it's really good having these open chats with you and Arn. Obviously, Arn lives around the corner from me, so it's a lot easier for me than him just to catch up. But, you and I speak quite a bit, and, not so much about integration or anything like that, but just ways that everyone can move forward. And, I really appreciate the open conversation on that front.
You're welcome. Thanks, Mike.
Hat change.
I mean, the end of the day, the goal is that we're all playing a game, and we want to play the same game. I think that's the biggest kind of disappointment in the last couple of years is that we have got the point where some feel like they've got to be in one camp or the other. There isn't. There's one camp. It's NZDG. Get in behind it.
Get in behind.
I have to say that the amount of social media posts, at least on the social media platforms that I'm more active in, which isn't many, honestly, has increased since the end of May, which is welcome, honestly. I thought it was fantastic to see that there were congratulatory posts and acknowledgement for Sarah and Alison on the day it was happening, not weeks later, which was refreshing.
Yeah.
And also for results of other events, although we've not had too many events since then. They kind of start to ramp up really in sort of September, October time. So So yeah, I have to say, tip of the cap for that. That's something which has noticeably changed or is noticeably different.
Credit where credit's due. That's all Lucinda. So we just send her what we want, and she makes it work for us, and that's really, really good for me, not having to worry about that side of it.
Mm. Yeah. No, I would say that's certainly something that's working right now. Another question we've got is, what do you see as the key focus for NZDG currently? If you had let's say you've got the next 3 months, knowing what you know now compared to what you knew 2 months ago, has what you're doing in the next 3 months changed at all, or have you what are you looking like for the next few months?
In a word, busy. The change isn't really there. Basically, what I thought in my head I might have been able to start 2 months ago, that's kind of starting the next 2 months. Everything just gets pushed back a little bit while we consider what is actually required to make these changes happen, whether these changes are actually worth going through with, or and then that's one thing you'll see, like the tour policy. We put out a draft tour policy because that was behind. We sought consultation on that. It was really good to see 48, 50 people in a video call about basically policy, and that's unheard of. We took on that feedback, and if you're Mike Foley, you'll know we've decided to push off some of these changes, mainly around the tour points and that, to next year. So some of the changes we thought we might have been able to walk in and make, we've decided actually maybe it's better to take a bit more time, consider, and so it's sort of more like a planning phase for next year. So a lot of this will come in for June 1st, 2025. But I just cannot assure enough. You are being heard. If you are being consulted on, we aren't doing it just for the fun of it. If we ask for your opinion, we are considering what that looks like in the background as well, and how that, does that require changes to what we're proposing? Are we actually on the pulse of what we need to be doing?
Okay, excellent. It sounds like you're very busy. It sounds like things are progressing, and it's progressing well. And the group you've got there are cohesive. Everybody's talking off the same kind of you're all talking the same language, which is great.
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, good.
Morgan, anything else?
No, not really. What I really love about Ewan is once we get him going, you pull that cord, he's away. You don't actually have to fire a bunch of questions at him because he's firing answers faster than you can ask the questions, which I really appreciate. I would like to actually just ask Matt, because he is here. How was the weekend for you? Battle with the Crown. Sorry, we're just changing topics one more time.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see behind the lump of wood, the trophy. Yeah, it was a full day of fog. I think we got about half an hour of sunshine. It was bitterly cold, but a few people know Ben Thompson from back in the day. He slaved down there for a week and a half with Zach Horrell and carved out an amazing, difficult match play course on a really fantastic reserve. We're spoiled here in the Upper Clutha, and we really made the most of it. Ben and Zach smashed it, and we took the win. It was a close battle, 8.5 to 6.5 after the singles. Just a great day with a good bunch of guys, a bunch of girls, and it's a fantastic battle. That it's grown a lot, and it's I think we've grown a lot closer because of our two clubs, and really looking forward to the next one. The
next one being the 10th.
10 years, the 20th battle, yep.
20th battle, 10 years in, coming to you summer of 2024-25. I look forward to being there and taking that lump of wood from you, as you so politely called it.
Is it every year? Is it annually, right? Or every 6 months?
Every winter, every summer.
Because you said it was in the summer. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah,
and we've swapped it occasionally. Like I think there was a time where Wanaka had all the summer events, so we swapped it around. Mm-hmm. Queenstown get to come hang out in our low cloud version.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we've started from time to time trying to put it on like different courses, like you did it this weekend. That one time when we had it sort of at the end of the Frankton Arm down there, opposite the pub and the school there, two interesting things to have next to each other now that I say that out loud. But yeah, no, I'm very much looking forward to the next one. One name you just dropped in there, which I did not realize had anything to do with it, Zach Horrell. Man, that guy's a weapon, eh? And he just pops up everywhere doing so much work because he's been building sneakily the Kelvin Grove course in Queenstown for like the last, probably near on 8 to 12 months. And it's just had its first 5 baskets installed about 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, he's a man putting in a lot of work, isn't he?
Yeah, we call ourselves the basket tiers up here, like an A tier, you know, and he's been creeping around on our stomping ground. So, yeah, Ben had a yarn to him and he was all about it, you know. He's on the same page. He just wants baskets in the ground. He loves designing courses and he's quite happy behind a chainsaw. So, yeah, perfect fit, really.
Yeah, man. For anyone that doesn't know Zach, his sort of family's based around Queenstown, and his family owns the Montana Flat farm where we have, the Montana Flat tournament, and they have Burning Horse, and they've got, you know, probably a good 27 to 30 holes out on that property as well, which is just awesome stuff. But yeah, no, outside of that, I've got nothing else for these gentlemen. I really appreciate you guys coming on tonight. Chat, if you do have anything.
Got one more question.
Oh, yep.
I just got one more question. Guys, neither of you are from either Dunedin or Invercargill, at least not presently. So you shouldn't have any favoritism by location. But it's the Tucker Beach Rush this weekend. Francis or Levi?
Gonna have to go with Levi there, just because he's got the history. He knows the course well, and he dominates.
Absolutely. Ewan?
I'm actually gutted he's not playing smaller right now. I was looking forward to losing to Francis, so I'd have back Francis in that one, mate.
It's gonna be a hell of a battle, isn't it? This weekend. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the results play out here. It's the first event where I can see some real heavyweights coming together.
Yeah, just for your wrappers up, we'll make 2 final comments.
Absolutely,
of course.
Yeah, just watching. I was a bit delayed with the last week's one with Luke from Australia. Just cannot express enough. That guy needs to get in. Consider voting him. He's talking about a lot of the issues we're also facing. They're a bit ahead of us. That's a lot of knowledge that we could benefit from in Oceano. And just really want to congratulate Elson and Sarah. Just an outstanding performance, both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sure. Do you have plans? Luke mentioned last week that he has spoken with someone out here previously, and then I think he said it was Brady. So obviously no one from the current board. Are you going to reach out to him, or have you heard from Luke? Because it would be great to hear these two minds coming together to get some more motion moving forward, even just within our countries.
I have sent him a email of support following me watching last week's and his comments, and hoping to get something, but even just a chat there. He's got some of the same ideas. It'd be helpful.
Fantastic. Well, chaps, look, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and for just dropping by. It's refreshing to have an update, and it was great that you reached out to me and said, look, can I come on the show? And so that's great. So look, you're always welcome, and we'll find a time when you can come on to have a chat, especially if you've got any new stuff that you want to talk to us about. So yeah, thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of the
Matt.
Oh, Matt, you got something?
Just a shameless plug. Look, we're developing some pretty high level strategy at NZDG right now, and we've got a ton of policy to write. We really could do with an extra couple of brains on this. So if you feel like you can contribute to NZDG, we'd love to have you. Please get your nominations, put your hand up, and come join us on the board. We're about to do some great stuff, so love to have you. And also, thanks for having us, guys. Really, you're doing a great job of putting disc golf on the map here, and keep it up. This is a great show.
Thanks, Matt.
Oh, that's very kind. Very kind. Chaps, have a great rest of the evening. We'll see you soon.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
Ciao. So, Morgan, there we go. We've got
excuse me.
The two guys there, Matt and Ewan. They sound like they're working real hard. And I'd encourage anybody out there who's even just got an inkling of, maybe that's something that I might be interested in. Give it stick your hand up. and get involved. It works when people come together and
yeah.
And
And you know, they mentioned that they'd really like to get some people from the North Island. Guys in the South, please don't let that be your deterrent. They are after anyone that has any sort of a capable mind and is willing and got a bit of drive behind them to get some stuff done. So reach out.
Also on the subject of Luke Turnbull, the elections for the PDGA close on the 31st. Now, Morgan, I did my election earlier on today. I filled out mine earlier on today. And the cheat code for voting for Luke is that on the form, it allows you to vote for up to 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just vote for Luke, then you're not voting for his competitors. So I put in 1 vote for Luke and didn't vote for anyone else because I think that means that he's got less competition, right? There's not another vote somewhere else.
I voted for 2 people.
So I would encourage you to make sure you go out there and vote. Do it, vote with how you want to. But I would, if you want to know a bit more from Luke Turnbull, then tune into last week's episode. Right. On the subject of NZDG and stuff like that, Kelvin Cummings is hosting a corridor. And I think I've got some more information on this. Producer Tom, I wonder whether you might be able to just fling me the link to it so I can put it on my screen so I can see what's going on.
It's really cool that
wait a minute, I've got
really cool that Kelvin's getting this out there as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So here we go. So this is on the NZDG website. You can go and reach this. So please invite all disc golf clubs, tutors, educators, coaches, members, and NZDG community to reach out for an engaging online presentation and discussion led by our outreach coordinator Kelvin Cummings. And this is taking place on Monday. This coming Monday. All right. So get involved at 8 o'clock. Kelvin will be presenting some proposals aimed at further developing youth and female engagement in our sport, highlighting initiatives already successfully implemented by NZDG. So, look, if you're part of a disc golf club that is doing stuff, or you want to, just know a little bit more about the kind of things that you can do, or you're involved in an organization that currently doesn't have disc golf in it, but works with kids, for example, as a school teacher or a community leader, then definitely worth taking a look and getting involved with the corridor of Kelvin. Even if you're not any of those, it would be really useful to share any prior experiences that you might have on this kind of activity, and any thoughts on the best way to take these kind of things forward would be welcome. So the link is in the PDGA document there the PDF document, beg pardon, that is on the screen now, which is on the NZDG website. So head over to that, hit the link at 8 o'clock or just before on Monday, and tune in to the corridor there and participate in the conversation on youth and lady development.
Battle of the State Highway 5. I'm just reading in the chat. Sorry, Matt.
Yes, I mean, well, but we had Battle of the Crown, which Monica took out last weekend. The Battle for State Highway 5 sounds a little bit less glamorous, perhaps, but no less competitive.
I love it.
Topor against Hawke's Bay, taking place in Te Pohui. I feel we need these kind of battles going on. I'd
100%.
love to have a a rim attacker battle between us and like Masterton, or maybe a battle of the Taradurs between us and Palmy or something. Someone which would that does that.
Those are strong names, aren't they? The rim attackers.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that.
So I'd love to see that kind of thing happen. Anyway, very best of luck to everybody playing in for either Topor or the Bay this weekend. Yes, in the Battle for State Highway 5. Now we're going to head over and have a look at some results which happened earlier on last week in the US. So, producer Tom, I wonder whether you can get the results up on the screen. So, the Junior World Championships took place last week. Alison Tweedy and Sarah Wadsworth headed over. And we had some fantastic results, Morgan.
Yes, we absolutely did. Alison Tweedy, man, I'm hoping she's stoked with her finish. 6th at a major, a national junior title. She played an 8:49 rated round in her first round, which is just slightly below her rating. And then for the rest of the tournament, played out her skin and played above her rating. And unfortunately, she made it to the semis, not quite to the finals, but in those semis, she showed what she can do, and she did shoot the hottest round out of the 10 young ladies that did compete in that second to final round.
It looked like it was just like first round jitters, but then she just progressively got better and better and better.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see her go back next year, and I can see her going that one step further and getting into the finals. Once you've gotten to that into the finals, you've got a real chance. And so I was willing her on the whole week that she was playing, and it was great to see that every day when I log in the morning, she was doing a little bit better than the day before. Absolutely fantastic.
That was awesome. And then the biggest news, the biggest news from our Junior World Championships.
That's it.
Not the one, but the two times
world champion Sarah Wadsworth. She's 9 years old. So she's still got a year to go in FJ10, right? Yeah. So she's going to play in the same division next year, having won this year by 18 strokes.
God, that's incredible scenes.
So 18 strokes to second, and then a further 22 strokes to third.
Man, it's I heard some good, some interesting chat from her dad about a couple of the other young girls that she was playing against, and some of these girls are bombing near on 100 meters with ease, and she's putting these sort of scores on them. Not saying she can't do that, but these other girls have got the skills too. She's just a complete package already.
I get the impression, I've never seen Sarah play. I've never played a round with her. I'd love to do so, but I get the impression that her approach and putt really come in clutch, and as perhaps where she does the work. Yeah. Every round was 37, at least 37 points higher than her rating. Her best round was an 885 rated round, right? Yep. Which, if I throw 885 in a league, I'm thinking, well, yeah, that's probably about where I am. That's crazy. Yeah. So look, huge congratulations to Sarah. We've got her on the show next week, so she's going to be joining us with her dad Paul to take us through the journey that she's been on over the last few weeks. I mean, I think she's on her way back from the States right now. So she's in transit, so to speak.
I'll make sure I've got my one-time signed disc that's over on that wall behind me next week. Actually, I was just like, how quickly can I get that?
That's right. And so, look, incredible scenes. What I would say is, and I wonder whether our producer Tom can get these stats up. Sarah's tournament average was an 857 rated. Was an 857 rated tournament, right? Just to put that into perspective, if she was to have competed in the FJ18 division, right, and shot 857 rated golf, she would have finished 9th.
Wow.
9th in FJ18. That's like, well, next year you go on tour. I mean, Elias Meitling, who won it last year, she's now playing on the Pro Tour, right? And so it's absolutely incredible play. 857 in FJ10 is
I do hope she does to go back out next year, take the 3-time, and then we see where it goes from there. Because, oh man, the world is her oyster. Frisbee golf
absolutely.
oyster.
Absolutely. We'll be able to see. You'll be able to have a chat with Sarah next week when she joins us on the show. And if you've got any questions for Sarah, or you want to pass on your own personal congratulations in the chat, then feel free to do so. Two-time world champion Sarah Wadsworth going to be joining us live next week. Right. What have we got now? Morgan, what do we need to go through?
I've got a little something random actually just to throw in the chat.
Oh yeah, go on,
just this evening, I'm talking with the guys out in Thailand right now, and they're telling me about how they're sort of helping grow the sport in the schools, and they've got a guy out there making baskets, and he's giving a basket and a bunch of discs to each school to try and help grow that way. And one thing he mentioned to me for when we go out there is, can we bring some discs? And it's just kind of run through my mind right now that, this is a good platform to be able to go, guys, if you're listening and you've got one or two spare discs that are just sitting around, I'd love for you to donate them to me to take to those guys on behalf of everyone here in New Zealand. So if you do, and you're happy to, give to an awesome cause, just flick me a DM and we can get it shipped down to me.
Morgan, let's sort that out, because I've got at least a dozen that I can send that have that are old second. They're not second hand. They're still 7 or 8 out of 10, which is I think what you're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they still fly fine. And that are either old discs that I don't use anymore, or ones that I've found that don't have that I haven't been able to locate the owner of, etc. So let's sort that out. And anyone else interested, either get in contact with Morgan directly or the show, and
please, that would be
set that up.
Very much appreciated. Thank you, everybody.
Set that up. Fantastic. Right, upcoming events, I think, is probably where we'll go next, because there has been some changes on our upcoming events to what's coming on. The first event that's upcoming actually is Tucker Beach Rush. Let's go there first. Sorry, producer Tom, I'm making you jump all over the place. If we could go to Tucker Beach Rush, that would be fantastic first. Now, Morgan, this weekend, we've been talking about it for a while.
Yep.
It's an incredibly strong MPO field. Let's just have a look at this. I would argue the strongest MPO field for some time, ratings-wise. And look at this. If you have a look at this, there's a 12:30 tee-off time on the Saturday. Is Levi, Francis, Ethan, and Hayden. They know how to put a feature card together, don't they?
Yes, they do. That's an absolutely epic card. The one person that some might think will sit just out the realm of the other three is Hayden Edgley, and I tell you what, right now, absolutely not. He can bomb discs. He can putt from anywhere, and I'm excited to see what he can do this weekend. Yeah.
Look, it's real tough to see what's going to go on in the MPO division there. It's just stacked all the way down.
Yep.
A really, really strong division. However, it does come to us to pick out our pop, drop, and lock. So if you're familiar with the concept here, then feel free to play along in the comments. So pop. Who do you think will play better than their rating? Their ratings are on the screen now.
Do we have to go with MPO, or can we go anywhere on the board?
No. We'll stick with MPO because it makes it more exciting. Drop. Who do you think is going to play worse than their rating? And lock. Who are you locking in for the win?
Right.
Morgan,
I'll start with my pop.
Who's your pop?
Yeah, I think it was between two, and I'm going to go the one with a slightly lower rating, who I think is probably going to actually play very well this weekend, Mr. Andrew Fleming.
Oh, okay, interesting. Not going for the same person as I'm going for in the pop, which is good. I'm interesting choice. And 925. I actually. That's not bad. I think Andrew's better than 925.
So do I.
So that's a fair
absolutely.
shout.
So do I.
I'm Go on.
No, I was going to say, realistically, like I've seen him play a lot, and I think he's really close to that mid-40s range at very least.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I, however, am going to go home court advantage and go for Mr. Jin Kato, being the pop for this tournament. Although 946 will be difficult to beat, I think because you've got some high-rated players in there, Francis, Sebastian, Ethan, and Levi, then there's a lot of points up for grabs. There's a lot of rating points up for grabs. Remember that the PGA rating is a zero-sum game. So if a lot of ratings points are brought to the party, then a lot of ratings points are taken away from the party. So the potential for a high-rated round, especially at Tucker Beach, where someone could just pop off, is possible. And I'm going to say that Jin can do it on home soil.
Yeah, up there, Jin. Go, my boy.
Drop. This is the hardest one to pick, eh?
It is hard, and I've thought about this in a few different directions. I was just like, well, Stephen Reed is staying with me. That could go really poorly for him. But then I've also got Andrew Falconer and Sebastian Falconer staying with me too. So that'll probably just level things out just a little bit, keep things a little bit safe. Can't go Henry Schroeder. Who, man, this is so hard because like I look at all these names and I feel like they're all actually going to play well this weekend.
I mean, it's real difficult.
There's a little bit of, I'll give you a little insight. There's a bit of weather coming this weekend, which we haven't had here in weeks. And I'm just wondering if it's going to be someone local. And to be fair, there's not really anyone local in here except for Jin. God, it's so hard. Invercargill boys are going to play well. They love the weather. And you don't want to upset anyone, eh? Ethan Stout.
You going Ethan?
Only because of the difference between 952 and 972. It gives me a range.
Yeah, okay, no, that's fair. That's fair because I mean it's a tough rating.
I'm hedging more than anything there. It's nothing about it other than that.
I'm going to take Ollie. I think I'm not sure his previous performances. I'm talking more recently. Have been up to the same level as perhaps where his rating suggests.
Sure.
Is the only comment there. And you know when I say that, I mean this is off the back of his third place at Nottingham Giants, his third place at the Lords and Ladies, his sixth place at Paradise Place. So I could be talking rubbish, right? And likelihood is that that's the case. But let's he's my pick. And Morgan, who is your lock?
Like I've got to go. What was he going to be 5-time this weekend?
You're going Levi?
Yeah. I want you can just take Francis because that's your guy right there.
Well, look, I am going to go Francis.
Good.
And I'm going to go Francis for a few reasons, two reasons mainly, but they're kind of the same reason, and that is that Francis has played a lot of sanctioned disc golf in the kind of recent past, if you like, and he's coming off a second place at Sub-Zero, a win at Nottingham, a win at Cloud Factory, a win at Lords and Lidsborough, a win at Rip and Dip. So this guy's used to winning, right? This guy is. He's got a habit of winning, right? So I'm gonna take Francis for that reason, and I'm not taking Levi because, well, one, you've taken him, so I can't take that as well. But also, he's not paid any sanctioned disc golf for 6 months.
Yeah, but he's Levi.
So, but he is Levi. So let's just. Anyway, they're my pop, drop, and locks for this tournament. Plenty more have come in. Lots of people going for Jin.
Bray's just said Levi by 8 can't stop the man at Tucker's.
Hayden Bonney with a noteworthy pop, drop, pop Jin, drop Levi, lock Levi. So a low rated win for Levi incoming. Anyway, let's have a look through the rest of the divisions because it doesn't get any less stacked as you go further down. Let's have a quick look at FPO. Haley versus Victoria, and let's not also forget Nicola as well. So Haley, Echo, Nicola, and Victoria. So despite being the lowest rated. The second highest rated. Echo Lee is ranked 14th in the country, and then you've got Nicola Stout ranked 7th, Victoria Speller ranked 2nd, and Hayley Flintoff ranked number 1 in the country, all playing on the same card for the whole weekend, probably.
Yeah.
So absolutely fantastic to see, and also it's going to be incredible competition this weekend in that division.
I think so. I think there's not going to be a whole lot of separation. It'll be it's if you don't know, Tuckers is a 27-hole course, just 2 rounds for the weekend. So coming down the stretch on day 2, especially if we've had rough weather, it's going to be a lot about what's going on upstairs and your mental attrition.
Yeah.
All I can say is Victoria, the chains are rattling outside of that garage door every single day. She does not miss a day.
Wow.
I think she's coming in hard for this one. I think she's taking the win.
Well, I mean, she's recently got her Innova sponsorship as well. You will have noticed. So make sure you go over to her Instagram and follow that. It's going to be an interesting journey. I think her game's just going to skyrocket.
Yeah, her and Echo. Remember, Echo's got hers as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So no, very excited to see what they can do with the Innova wings on their back, and what all 4 of those ladies are going to do this weekend down in MP40. Matt, what's your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, look, so it's real difficult to look. I always, whenever I see Tom McKay's name in on a tournament list, I'm thinking this guy, because he's got that. He's always got that. I've always got that feeling of that 1060 something rated round in my head, right? Yeah. That he shot, and so yeah, it's going to be real difficult to look past him. But I think Hemi's also going to be there or thereabouts. Honestly, this division is another stacked division.
It's huge. Yeah, these guys are all
real difficult to pick. Any of those 7 could go on a tear and win.
Yep.
And you know, because it's only 2 rounds. If you need to be thereabouts in the first round, right? If you're more than probably a few shots off the lead after the first round, you might find it's pretty difficult to get back involved.
Yeah, I had a catch up with Chris Dixon today, and he is just chomping at the bit to put on a good performance this weekend. He's going to be my pick. I think Hemi's going to be right in tow with him. Those guys have been playing, practicing hard, and a lot out at Tuckers. And I actually think Tom's going to come in 3rd this weekend.
Wow, there we go. Right, down to MA1. We were talking about this in the green room previously, or at least producer Tom and I were. There's a lot of 900 rated plus players in MA1, like a lot, like way more than there has been in previous tournaments, I'm sure. I suspect there'll be plenty of these guys. I mean, are we going to have sandbags on standby for a number in this division?
Don't know. You're going to call me a sandbagger?
Well, I'm not going to call you a sandbagger.
I'm bringing that trophy home again, baby.
maybe if you win with a 980 rated tournament, then I will. But no. Then I definitely will be calling you out as a sandbagger. But it's a stacked division. Real tricky to pick a winner here. You know a lot of these guys because they play in Queenstown, right?
Look, you just hang out with the chat for just a moment.
Okay, Morgan's had to dash off. But we got Billy Roberts, who's the highest rated player in MA1, and even Roberts Crastins, who would be staple MPO, and Morgan mentioned earlier that he also used to play MPO and is now playing MA1. I think that's a sign of the quality there. Chat, what are we going for in terms of the winner of MA1? Who have we got? Morgan's bought his dinner plate.
This is staying at my house. You hear me, MA1? I'll bring it for the weekend, and it's coming home. I'm telling you right now.
Excellent. Well, I'm really looking forward to it. Morgan, who's on your card tomorrow? Who have we got? You've got Jack Maffey. You've got Adam Swan.
Yeah, I've got Swanee and
Simon West.
That is correct. I don't think it's going to sit up there. Oh well.
So look, it's going to be a real tough one to call. Brenley Marshall being called out as a possible winner here. Brenly and Jack very solid at sub-0. That's absolutely right. Brenly taking out 6th in MPO.
Yeah, I think what you'll find is
sub-0.
Jack Maffey's going to be a really hard one to get past this weekend. He's got the arm for this course, and it's really going to come down to how he is going to activate his putting game.
Right.
Because, man, he's got the arm to drive all of the drivable tee shots on the course easily.
Yeah. So you took out the winner sub-0 earlier on this year, and came second in Lords and Ladies in MA1 as well. So has got history of competing, on the league cards of this division. A bit further down, FA1. We've got some names here that I'm not too familiar with. Obviously, Katie Schneider I know very little about, being from the States. Nikki Day is plays quite a bit. And they're not too familiar with the other two ladies either. But given that it's you've got a four lady card for the whole tournament, that's going to be pretty competitive.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I'm going to just put Nikki right at the top of the list, but then Katie Schneider, we don't know her. She's coming out the state. She's had a PDJ number for all of, she's 8,000 short of Nikki. So probably 3 days at the rate the PDJ numbers go up. She's been around for a little bit. Who knows? She might come out here and just absolutely clean up. Along with the other two. You never know.
That's it. Looking at MA40. So you got Stu Gilchrist, Barry Van Beek, Russell King. Lance Essen could do a job here as well, coming off 2 podiums at Nottingley and Lords and Ladies, 1 Seafarer, 1 Roxburgh. So I wouldn't say that it would be right to look past him. Russell King was a 2023 Nationals champ.
Yep. Barry
Van Beek, I think, was the South Island champ from 2023, from memory. Have I got that right? Yeah, South Island champ at Garden City. And then you've got Stuart Gilchrist, who won the Enza DG Tour last year. And
Nottingley recently.
Nottingley, Queenstown Classic and Paradise Plates all this year, and a second place at Lords and Ladies. In fact, in MA40 has taken out podium in each of the last 6 events he's played. So
you want to call by me on this one? You want me to call this? Because it's going to be Stu Gilchrist by 6.
Stu Gilchrist by 6. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
Clip that.
There we are, chat. You've heard it here first. Stu Gilchrist by 6 shots. Into MA50. Again, where do you go here? There's so many. It's going to be so close, isn't it?
It is. Oh God, I want to throw this in the mix. I'm going to go for a wee Leon Botha win. Andrew Felton is going to be nowhere to be seen because I'm just going to fill him with barbecue this weekend. He's barely going to be able to walk around the course. He doesn't know that. He might do now. But yeah, I think I'd love to see Leon come at the top, and Tibbs. I love Tibbs. So I think he's going to be right there.
And also, it's noteworthy that Iran is also down to play as well, having not competed for some time. So yeah, it's going to be good to see him playing. MA60, Rob Kent and Steve McVicker battle it out in a division of 2, and over in MA2, lots of locals. Going by the names that don't have PDGA numbers. Are we going for friend of the show, Arne Burgess, to sneak a victory here?
Like knowing Arne, he'll sniff the barbecue from down the road and he'll show up at my house too, so he's barely going to be able to walk. Let's go with...
Is his sense of smell that good, or is your barbecue that good?
Both.
Probably a bit of both.
Both.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go with Keith Stevens this week. Although he's not been playing a hell of a lot of disc golf, he is in the gym training so hard right now. He's in such peak physical condition. I would just love to see him come out there and get the dub.
Excellent. And let's have a look at MJ18. You've got look. So how do you call this? I think it's going to be between Hinato and Connor. But but who takes it out is going to be is a tough call.
You know, Hanato is an absolute weapon. I think the one thing he's going to lack against Connor is just a little bit of distance, and that might be all that it takes to get the job done. And I think there's going to be a hair between them. It's going to be so close.
It's an interesting point, isn't it? Because it's not necessarily just about the distance that you bite off the hole on the first shot.
Yep.
Because if you can consistently throw 5 to 10 meters more than the person you're up against, right? The person you're most competing with. Not only are you slightly closer to the basket, which you hope will give you a better look and a better, approach shot or even an easier putt. You're also taking your second shot after the other person has taken their second shot, right? So you know what you need to do. If you're playing match play, which could well be the mindset of people towards the back end of the second round, then always taking your second shot after somebody else has taken their second shot makes a real difference in your decision-making process, right? And really puts the pressure on the person.
It's funny though, because that definitely does work both ways as well, though. You know, when you've got the tee and you're the one, if you're going well and you could just almost assert dominance over the card by consistently punching good drives, it's
so that's what I mean about the second shot, right? So you want to be you always want to drive first, putt last. So that idea that you drive, land under the basket, and be the last one to putt because you've got the shortest.
I absolutely
putt, right?
just repeated what you said. Yeah, my bad.
But anyway, no, it's all right. I understand. It's that barbecue smell.
It's in my mind. I'm sorry, you've lost me.
Caitlin Murray and Lexi Dixon battle it out in FJ18, and Carter Dixon is competing.
We're going with the Dixon triple threat this week. Chris Dixon, Lex Dixon, and Carter Dixon. You heard it here first. Clip that.
Let's see if that can take place. I'm really looking forward to following this. I wish I was playing, but look, Morgan, you are. Very best of luck this weekend to you, and we'll be following and have a lovely time. And I am jealous that I'm not going to be able to come down and see the battle at MPO that's going to be taking place. Let's now have a look at some of the other upcoming events, because there has been some updates in terms of registration dates and sellouts, etc. that we need to go through. So the Tucker Beach Rush is this weekend in Queenstown. The Smallbone Slam is sold out, and that's in 2 weeks' time. 3 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, it's next weekend
in Christchurch.
Oh, yeah, following. Yeah, I'm headed up to that one. I'm looking forward to that.
2 weekend. On the 10th of August, and then the weekend of the 24th of August. 24th is a fantastic day. The 24th of August is there's the Blood Sacrifice in Wanaka, and there's the Black Ice Duel in Dunedin, and then there's also Captain Knees Up in Waikanae, which is played at the El Rancho course, which El Rancho is a Christian camp just outside of Waikanae, and they've got a disc golf course, and there's a load of work that's been put in by the NTGG crew to upgrade the baskets, put necklaces on, and etc. Make them just better, because the baskets are a little bit they're a bit Fisher Price, honestly, but they're great for what they are. Anyway, the Captain Knees Up, 25th of August. If you want to get involved, I think there's a Facebook group, and it's on Disc Golf Scene, but you register through a Google form. They're trying to save money on registration fees, so get involved that way.
Actually,
it is a sanctioned event.
That is something to note. I will just put this out there. Registration fees have gone up again on Disc Golf Scene.
Do you know how much it is?
There's a percentage. So it depends what the tier is of the event. Goes between like 2.99 and it's either 4 or 5.99. But now there's also another fee on top of that comes back on the person running the Disc Golf Scene page, which is like $1.80. I think it's US as well, per player.
Yeah. So by the time you've paid that fee and then the sanctioning fee and then the NZDG fee, you've probably racked up $25, $30 worth of
easily,
administration fees. Yep. So look, if you want to get involved in events which bypass some of that, then the Captain Knees Up is an example of where the sanctioning fee applies, but the other two don't. Disc Daddies in Christchurch, 1st September, sold out. Hagley Huck, Christchurch, 15th September. Registration for this opens on the 11th of August, so keep an eye out for that. Flight Park Open in Queenstown is on the 21st, 22nd of September. Black Ice Duel in Dunedin, the second event in that duel series, that has sold out. Topor Thermal Throwdown sold out in seconds, 5th and 6th of October. If you're playing in it, I'll see you there. Owaka coming soon, 19th to the 20th of October.
Yeah, just a wee note on that one. Adam's still away for another 3 weeks, so nothing's going to come out on that one before he gets back from the UK.
Okay. The Extreme in Tauranga, South, which is North Island Champs. This is selling out. I think there's 9 spots left. If you want to be involved in the Extreme, which is a ludicrously hard course in Tauranga, then get yourself involved. But it's selling out. There's only a few spots left. Wahitapu, the Legend of the Lodge, is from the 1st to the 3rd of November, and registrations are open. South Island Champs in Twizel, coming up later on this year, 8th to the 10th of November. The registration for this is also open. Day at the Lake in Te Anau is on the 7th of December. Registration is open for that, for the Elite Silver Series. The Rapper Rumble over in Masterton, run by Mark Clement and Disconnection, is on the 14th to the 15th of December, and registration for that is also open. And finally, New Zealand Nationals coming on the 6th to the 9th of February, and registration opens for that in 5 weeks' time on the 1st of September. Right, let's have a look at the power rankings. The power rankings going into Tucker Beach Rush. As we said before, we've got Hayley Flintoff ranked 1st, Victoria Speller ranked 2, Nicola Stout ranked 7, and Echo Lee ranked 14, all competing this weekend in the FPO division. So very best of luck to that battle. That's going to be crazy. In MPO, you've got Levi Stout ranked 1, Francis Orange ranked 4, Sebastian Faulkner ranked 9, Ethan Stout ranked 12, Ollie Webb ranked 16, and then Jack Maffey ranked 19, playing an MA1. So the form guide suggests that he will win there.
I'm really sorry. I've just got to go back a couple of steps because something's just hit me here.
What's just hit you?
Mikey Yu, not at the Tucker Beach Rush.
Oh. Okay.
It came up on the power rankings. He's just been pipped by Jack Maffey, who's come up 18 spots there into 19th, and Mikey's down in 20th. No Mikey at Tucker Beach. He must be working. I don't know why else, unless he's injured. That's a shock to me.
That's true. He's not playing this weekend, despite he lives in Queenstown, obviously. So there's you would have thought so, but he's not competing.
Maybe he's working because Iran's not.
So there's a stacked field in MPO, as well as 1 takes on 4, takes on 9, takes on 12. So we shall look forward to seeing who's going to take out that. So yeah, I think that's about it for us for tonight.
5 more subscribers, Matt.
5 more subscribers. Is that how many more we need to get to
next giveaway?
To get to 400?
5 more subscribers.
That's going to happen.
400 to get to the next giveaway.
That's going to happen in no time at all.
Yep.
There is other ways that you can support the stream and support the show if you'd like to, and by that you can head over to our Patreon site, patreon.com/sweetchainlive, and we're going to be. We've got some developments and some things that we've got in the pipeline that are going to enhance the membership benefits that you get if you join the Patreon site over there. Not only will you be supporting the stream, you'll get yourself into extra entries into the draw. You'll have access to our exclusive merch shop, which is going to land very soon, and also get some extra access and benefits on the new Sweet Chain Live website, which is in development. So yeah, if you want to get involved, head over to patreon.com/sweetchainlive. Morgan, very best of luck to you this weekend. Where's that trophy again? safely in your arms. But look, wherever you're playing disc golf, take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.